What's going on, YouTube? It's Lively Projects again. Just showing y'all a little update of the truck. We got a cab back on it. A little bit of a mess right now, but we got that cab back on there. Had to do a little bit of trimming on the header. Down underneath here, there's a pinch well. So now I'm getting ready to run the wiring. I'm installing a race pack dash in this and just going over the wiring with it, looking at a couple things, and then we got to hook up the painless harness, which I'm coming close to that. We had to do a couple things inside. As you can see, I made a shifter pedestal for this. We got just a basic, just welding on the trans tunnel here. We got the 5002 switch panel to put on here, and I'm putting on a couple momentary switches to operate and change the dash configuration within the race pack. I'm going to be mounting a aluminum kick panel right here for the MSD box, and also I have some nice terminal strips to lay in there. I'm gonna have to adjust the brake pedal because it's way up there. Going through a couple things here, just getting the wiring laid out, and then once we get that figured out and I get the dash mounted, I'll be able to start running the actual harness. So I guess the next thing would be to finish out this the race pack dash. Let me show you all that. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm fixing to lace it up with some nice covering. It's fireproof. It's good stuff. It comes on a spool. So we got that laid out. It's a little bit dirty right now because I had to customize it. Basically, I just screwed it onto the original dash pieces, and then you'll be able to, get it on there. So that'll look pretty nice once I get that done. Just looking at the wiring and how we're gonna hook everything up. As far as the brakes are all tied down. We've got stainless steel braided all throughout. Got the master hooked up. We do have a secondary proportioner to cut off the back a little bit, so I have to mount that back up once I bust it loose. The header configuration, we had to drop the steering column down a little bit. We basically repositioned it in the hole it's got. I'll have to caulk around that and seal that up, and a bunch of other holes that were already here. But like I said, I mean, on that, if you've seen the previous video, the great thing about this MSD pack, I mean, literally, we got one plug to run this whole thing. We got two sensors. We got a cam sensor, and then we got a crank sensor, and that'll get us going. I got a little bit of wiring to do, but I mean, as far as everything else, cool pack school on the top, and we'll be able to get her knocked out. I've still got to pop two more holes. I've got to pop a big one for that main plug here, and I've been using an electrical knockout to make those holes. I'm not using hole saws or anything, so it's a little bit better on the wiring. And then I've got this one that has a rubber grommet that'll just go right there in the hole. We'll screw that on there, and then I'll have the battery cables, which I think I'm going to put up here and just route them down and then get into the starter area. I'll have to pull the header off again to do all that because I'm running 2-aught battery cable, which is basically, if you look on eBay, you can find it pretty decent, but it's 2-aught welding cable. And then we have the solder on pellets. So you got the eyelets, and you got these nice little pellets. You just drop them in there, strip the wire, heat that up with the torch, and man, you got a solid connection. We got a tank in there, which we already had. Oh yeah, I mounted the this old assembly out of here. I mounted the trans cooler, ran the lines down there. So I got those all, so where they're not chafing and everything. Got some of that, some heat shrink. And so we're getting there slowly but surely. Just got to do a little bit more work before I can actually start installing this wiring. And, you know, it's moving. It's getting close, but still kind of moving around. But I'm glad we got the dash on there and everything, and the cab, and we're getting closer. So I'm gonna try to get it running by tomorrow or possibly Monday. Today's Saturday. It's just a lot going on, so I just trying to plan it out, and I gotta get it out of the garage so I can clean up a little bit and get some things going so I can work. So anyways, I'll update you shortly, see what's going on. Thanks.